They are renovating now the entrance of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, actually the entrance to the Golgotha, and it's so noisy, but I saw him walking to it or something like that. Then I'm rushing first into the church, and we will talk about that, and later on we will go out and talk about the facade of the church. I'm dedicated that video to each one of you who are watching now, but especially Brandon Powell, that bought the Jerusalem cross, a symbol of Jerusalem. Now, even the door itself is not real, because they are renovating now the door. Then it's a poster on top of simple thing. Let's get used to the darkness. You can see it. Soon you will see the doors again. I'm not going to do that according to the events, mainly because it's quiet now. And this is the anointing stone. That's where they anointed the body of Jesus. The smell is amazing. It's so emotional, as you can see, mainly because so many events happen here. This is the difference between your church to the church. You can see the renovation, and let us climb first up to the Golgotha. Come on. From the exit. Sorry. You can see the renovations here. And we reached the Catholic part. The church belongs to the Catholic, Greek Orthodox churches, and Armenians. But we are in the Catholic part, and as you can see, it's so empty. That's when they strip him from his clothes. And he asked me to write on it the chapels that we are visiting. It's going to be on your cross. The energy is so strong. If you want to have your own cross, your own so many others options, go into the description beneath the text, touch it, and you will see two links of Buy Me a Coffee, which I will be more than happy because I'm trying to buy a good new camera for you. And the second thing, it's the optionals, things you will get, the product. I will buy it for you. I will take a video of it, upload it to YouTube, and of course, that amazing cross belongs to Brandon Powell. You can see here the nailing to the cross, which is another Via Dolorosa stations. His mother, Mary Magdalene, to the right of him, and a Roman soldier. The rest were outside the city, because it was outside the city. And the question is, how come? The church is now at the Times Square of Jerusalem, but their church is, that city is 2,000 years old, older than the time of Jesus. And think about your city 2,000 years ago. Next to it is Mary with a spear in her heart. It represents the Pietà, another Via Dolorosa station. When they were at the temple, Mary been told by Simon that her son will die in front of her eyes. It will be like a spear entering to your heart. I don't want to disturb the ladies. Then first, let me go and bless the cross at the Golgotha. This is the only option for me to touch the bedrock. and to bless your cross. You can see John, the mother, and Jesus on the cross with the sin list. Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. And in front of it, you can see a menorah, which is a symbol for the Jewish temple. Then what the menorah is doing here? Jesus is God. And every church is kind of a temple. Then why not to have a menorah in front of Jesus? He's God. This is the house of God. Look at the face of Mary. Let us leave the Golgotha, the Calvary, the crucifixion site, through the same exit actually, but through the Greek Orthodox chapel. Brenda, your cross was already blessed in the church, in the tomb of Jesus, but it was very important for me to bless it here, because after he died on the cross, they took him down and purified his body like every other Jew. You know that a Jew is supposed to be buried at the same day, and the day begins and ends at sunset. And Jesus was, Joseph of Arimathea asked to get the body of Jesus and bless it and bury in his own tomb. But before that, they blessed and anointed the body of Jesus and put a shroud around him. And the stone that we actually saw is the anointing stone. But let me bless it again, just for, history's sake. Armenian chapel, you will see at least one more Armenian chapel, and it's important for me because the candles are from the holy fire. The holy fire goes all the way down from heaven straight to the tomb at Pascha. The Greek Orthodox and Armenian Easter, then all the candles were burned that you can see in the church, and most of the wood, of the Orthodox wood, is from here. The tomb of Jesus. The tomb of Jesus was exactly like a rock-cut cave, like that. But as you can see, Brandon, it doesn't look like it. Because the rock-cut cave been destroyed so many times, then they built kind of an edicula on top of it. But we found so many evidence when we excavate here now, when we actually started to replace the floor of the church, then you are an evidence for an history. And it's divided into two. The first chapel belongs to the angels who took care that no one will steal the body of Christ. You can see the candlelight. And the second chapel is the tomb of Jesus. And by the way, why it's so important? It's so important because it's the symbol of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the big cross, and the four others, whatever you want. 4 Gospels, 5 stigmatas, But the idea is that, look at that. Look at that, it's straight on top of the tomb of Jesus. Now, to show you that it was outside the city, let us enter to a chapel which is sadly now, I don't know, without lights. You can see a little bit of the future stones. Let me jump on it. And remember that Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own tomb that no one used. Then here, see, it's a little bit dark. You will be able to see. Let me see if you will be able to see. If not, just trust me that it's there. A rock-cut cave that very rich Jews could use to bury their dead. You can see some niches. Some of them are still closed, and maybe the bones are still there. And they used to put the bodies there. And when they have no more space, they used to take the bones out and bury the body, the new dead, instead. By the way, this is an evidence for the 4th century church wall. Remember, that church been destroyed so many times. They still argue who owns that chapel. Let us continue to another chapel, which is so important for me, mainly because it's the 15th station of the cross, I call it, because on Sunday, Mary Magdalene met Jesus right here. She entered the tomb, which was empty, and she found him right here, and he asked her to go to tell the disciples that he was actually resurrected. And did they believe her? Not so fast. Let me just, Let me enter to another chapel, and if someone will pray there, I won't be able to talk. It's a Catholic chapel of the family. No one is praying now, then I can actually bless it right here. And you can see Mary Magdalene and Jesus. And something else which is important, you can see here the rock that Jesus was sitting on it just before the trial, or at the trial with Pontius Pilate. And mocked him, put a tone of horn on him, dressing like a royal dress, of a king dress. They already renovated the floor. It's going to be like that. But they decided to cover it mainly because they don't want to destroy it while the rest of the floor are being built. Another wall from the 4th century, my friends, built on top of the wall that the Romans built here on top of Jesus' tomb, a Roman temple to destroy it. Jupiter might be the Aphrodite. It doesn't matter. The idea was to demolish the Christians that were non-legal religion until the 4th century. And remember, that church has been destroyed so many times, and you can see here so many evidence. Different kind of architecture, columns. The Greek Orthodox believes that when Jesus was here, and it sounds so logic, they didn't crucify him immediately. He had to wait. Then to wait is to wait only in a prison. And that's how the prison looks like. Look at the legs of Jesus. Look at the hands of Jesus. I'm visiting their church so many times. People ask me, what is the most visited place of yours? This is one of them, if not the one. Let us walk all the way to the lowest place of the church. We can see so many chapels. Greek Orthodox chapel, Armenian chapel. Remember, the Armenians got a lot of chapels here. And we are on the way to one of the most important chapels of them. You must understand that the Armenians were the first nation that converted to Christianity at 301 AD. Only 324 AD, Constantine and his mother started to do that. Huh? Amazing. Then this is their chapel. And let me tell you the story. The king of the Armenian was sick. No one could cure him. His daughter told him, Father, there is a saint guy in prison. You put it there. And I believe that he can cure you, although he said that he believes in Jesus. And he cured him. Then the king took him to the river. And you can see now the same prisoner as a bishop. And he's baptizing the king. It's not Jesus and Paul and John the Baptist and the rest. You can see the royal dress of him. Because they are ready for the incense ceremony, we can enter to the mosaic floor of 12 cities that have been destroyed in 1915. This week, 1950, by the Turkish, by the Ottomans, who butchered 1.5 million of them. And today, this week, on Thursday, I'm going to be with them in the procession that they will do. Because it's open, usually it's not. I can show you the chair of St. Helen. She was sitting right here when they found the true cross, right there. Then let us walk all the way down to visit it. Now, if this is the Armenian chapel and the low one is a Catholic chapel, then what's the difference? Where is the gap? All right. That is Armenian painting. But you can see that one. This is the Catholic one. Then the Catholic chapel start right here. And it's very strict. Armenian cannot clean that floor. Only the Catholic can do that. There are two statues at that chapel. Both of them belong to the Catholic. We saw Mary with a spear in her heart, but this is not Mary. This is St. Helen with the cross that she found. Let me show you exactly where it's happened. This is where St. Helen found 3 crosses. You know that Jesus wasn't crucified by himself. Then she had to look for someone who will touch it. and resurrect. And she took a dead body of a woman. And the first 2 crosses, nothing happened, but I think you know exactly what's happened at the 3rd cross. She became alive, and they discovered the true cross. She cut it into 3, one part to Constantinople, Turkey of today, Istanbul of today. The second one is for Rome, and the third one was here. That room before Jesus' time was a quarry of King Herod. Then you can see there. And the quarry and tombs are always outside the city. Remember, that city is 2,000 years old, older than the time of Jesus, and they used it as a water system as well. You can see the bucket holes. Today it's at the roof of the Ethiopians. Then let us climb all the way back. On the wall you will see a lot of graffitis of crosses. A lot of them are from the Crusader time. Sounds like local Arab Christians. This is the lower part of the bedrock. Remember, it was a quarry. Then it might be that that stone is not the best stones for building something, that they left it just like that. And that's why the Romans later on, when they took it after Herod's time, they took it and, because it was just outside the gate, that was the best place to crucify him. You can see the bedrock and the creek. Remember that when he died, the earth shook and blood teardrops fell down. And some people resurrected. According to the Greek Orthodox, one of them was Adam. Then this is the chapel of Adam. Adam, the first man ever. And for the Catholic of us, 4 of the first Catholic kings, Crusader kings, they were Catholic, were buried here. The other 4, altogether 8, were buried just beneath the mosaic wall. Then why we're not doing nothing with that? Because those 2 belongs to the Greek Orthodox. And I must say that in the histories, for the history's sake, they didn't like the Crusader. When they entered the city, they killed a lot of the Greek Orthodox Christians. For them, they weren't real Christians. Then in that matter, sadly, we lost a lot of it. Let's go outside and let's thank the people who didn't work. They want to eat. I'm so happy for them. And we could enjoy it, enjoy the church without any problem, without any noise. But let us. Wow, it's so hot. You can see the facade of the church, mostly from end of the 11th, the beginning of the 12th century. And this is where, and remember that I said that it belongs to so many of the dominations. Then the upper part, look at the two windows, belongs to the Armenians. They wanted to clean the windows from the outside, and they took the ladder from there and started to clean it by the Greek Orthodox. Remember, it's a lot of who loves and who honor or who belongs to. Then they look to them and say, who told you that the facade of the church belongs to you? Until they figure out who owns it, it will be like that. I do have a picture from 1859 of the same ladder. Before we will say goodbye, let us climb up to the Ethiopian roof. Remember, we saw the bucket holes. And we saw the dome. I didn't talk about it, but there at the Armenian, we found, you saw a beautiful dome. Then you will see the dome from the outside. And then we will say goodbye. The Ethiopians believe that they are creation of a meeting between Queen Sheba and King Solomon. And according to them, the 10 Commandments and the Ark of the Covenant is at Ethiopia. 2 churches, 2 floors. I love the Ethiopians. Then this is the roof of the church. At 12th century, it used to be the dining room of the German Crusaders. And you can see the Coptic church and monastery, which is amazing. They still argue about who owns what and don't want to go into it. But it belongs to Jesus. Remember the bucket holes? Right there. And the dome is in front of you. And this is the best time to say goodbye. Thank you for being with me. If you reach that point, please say, I reached that point. And let me bless each one of you. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do have more than 22,000 videos of the Holy Land. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.